everyone, this is Joe the Orange, and today we're going to be talking about the first big update, in my opinion, to Conqueror's Blade, which is a Season 1 Seize the Crown update. And I'm going to be honest, when they said seasons, and I looked at how the trailer had different seasons, I thought they were talking about weather effects. But that is not the case. There's something about battle passes. I've never played a game with battle passes. Don't know what the fuck that is. The only thing I know is it's like Fortnite. That seems to be the meme going around at the moment. They're introducing Fortnite. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm going to have to ask my nephews. They play that game all the damn time. It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, I have no bloody idea, and that's why this video is a waste of time. I'm just telling you useless information. Not only joking, I do have some information. Most of it you probably know, but the bit at the end you probably don't know, so you can fast forward to that. Apparently this update is going to start with a Royal Rumble, as you can see right there. Season 1, Royal Rumble, right out the gates. So I guess that means they're introducing WWE into Conqueror's Blade. I was shotgun playing Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's my favourite character. Mainly because he drinks beer a lot, so I'll be really good at it. The rest of the information I get the gist of. You have more weeklies or dailies, etc. You have a limited amount of time to do a bunch of things and you get rewarded for it. It is a season thing though, so it's probably goals you have 3 months to reach. So far, if you guys are anything like me, I'm just sitting here going, I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. But hold on, there is some good things coming up. The first of that, they're getting rid of the gender lock. That was just a pain in the ass. We're finally reaching equality. For the males, you get to use the short bow and the kitchen knives. Finally, you can make yourself a sandwich. For the female characters, you get your long bow, you get your poleaxe, and you finally get to pierce someone with your spear. It just adds more versatility to the game. It's way more fun being able to change through even more classes, or should I say weapons. That change to me is just a big old positive. The next thing they're doing is revamping the UI. Personally, I've never really been a UI guy. I just don't give a shit. If it works, it works. I don't care how pretty it looks. But it is important to a lot of people, so that's always a good thing. Hopefully, yeah, they enjoy that change. Then there's going to be some graphical enhancements, so that's another one of those things. Okay, it looks a bit better. Cool. And then we have this interesting board. Before the season starts, they're going to rebalance basically everything. The units, warlords, siege weapons, and economy. That's definitely going to spice things up. You don't know what's going to be strong or what's going to be weak anymore. It all could change. To be honest, it's probably a good time to start saving your honor up in case what you're playing at the moment gets completely nerfed. Then we have all the stuff I already covered, new cosmetics and rewards, season pass, and all that stuff. Or battle pass as they're calling it. And then randomly at the end we have this thing called the Golden City. I'm guessing this is where the Royal Rumble is going to take place. I have no idea how this is going to work. It could even be an AI event. I have bloody no idea. Or it could be a massive version of Deathmatch, maybe 50 aside, no units, and everyone just goes in there and battles it out. It's all speculation. But that could really spice the game up, depending on what they do with it. But that's enough of that. We have some more information on what the seasons may be. This is from the Frontier game, and I'm presuming we're going to have something similar to what they have when it comes to seasons. It starts off with this person explaining that they designed Territory Wars and now they're going to change it. It's an interesting read. I'll leave the link below. It starts off with him basically saying that they want to get everyone into Territory Wars, because at the moment it's definitely not fun for any casual guilds. You basically have no chance. If you join this game and you only want to play with your friends and you got about 4 other people, you can't just make your own house. You're just going to get smashed. And for newer players, it's definitely hard just to jump into Territory Wars. You're most likely going to be facing some guys that have 100 more levels than you and will just crush you. And the developers know to have a growing player base, you do have to please the casuals and the newcomers, etc. Because without them, slowly the community just fades away. And originally their territory war design, the one we have now, they thought did cover this. There was enough room for these small houses to pop up. But then we move on to the next part of this article called What Really Happened. And I think we all know what happened. And this guy goes on to explain in a very nice way Zergs fucked it up. I mean, you can read it for yourself. Basically, the whole area gets unified by giant Zergs. There's only a few fiefs or towns getting fought over. And basically, new houses have no room to start even taking territory. And the old houses that are in the Zergs have no opponents to fight, so they just quit. Basically, it is not healthy for the game. And this did happen on the North American servers. The east side, I think it was like 3 weeks into the game, the whole thing was already unified. And then a few weeks later, they all quit. We were having these major wars, and I'll zoom over to the east side, just like nothing. It's a fucking ghost town. And now that's basically happening again. The developers probably thought there'd be fights all over the place between nearly every house. But that's just not the case. So the developers have realized this apparently 6 months ago. Because if we go down to the next part of this article, it's called Use the Season to Create a Fair Fight for Each Player. I'm not sure how they're going to manage to do this, but let's read it. It goes on to say they've been working for 6 months on a new territory war system called the Season System. And one thing that is really clear is that the territories are just going to be wiped. Everyone starts fresh. But they have been working on this for 6 months. I don't think that's going to be enough to combat any Zergery, because the Zergs that already control everything will just remain allies. I'm sure they're fully aware of this. It does go on to say there's going to be clear objectives to fight for and prevent warlords from losing the fun of fighting in the endless war of attrition. What that means, no bloody idea, but it sounds like they have a general idea that just resetting the territories isn't going to do that much. They go on to say they want new players to be able to join this game and have fun, and apparently the system they're working on does allow that. No details yet, so we're going to have to wait and see what they do with this system. And then we have the usual road of development, the things they're thinking about adding into the game in the distant future. New units, new events, etc. I don't pay attention too much to these parts of articles from developers because they're usually 6 months or more down the track. So it's not worth getting hyped about now. You're better off getting hyped about the other things you did read in the article. Anyway guys, that's the end of that read. The summary is, it seems like the developers are aware they need to help the casual player base and the new player base, because that's where the market really is. For us guys that have been playing for a long time, you don't even need premium anymore. So we're not really spending any money on the game. And these guys obviously want to make some money. So they need casuals and new players to come in, buy that premium time, buy those cosmetics, etc. And it's probably why they're also introducing this battle pass. I'm not sure what it is really, how much it costs or anything like that. But they do need to make some money. You can say it's a bad thing. Personally, I'd rather not spend money as well. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, I don't want to spend money. But the people making the game need to keep the lights on, of course. Imagine going to work and they go, we're giving away everything for free, so we can't pay you. So you work here for nothing. Obviously you'd quit, so then there's no developers, there's no new content, and the game is dead. It's a balancing act. You don't want to get EA greedy. At the same time, you can't just give everything away for free, or else, yeah, you're poor. We will have to wait and see if they have got the right balance, how the new content actually works out, and if this is going to bring new players and casual players in. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, thumbs up and all that shit, and I'll see you next time.